Right, so after a week off, we're back for some more Moto-based web show goodness. And what are we going to be talking about, I hear you ask? Well, we've got some shocking silly season news, my thoughts on Nitro Circus Live, and I speak to the man himself, Travis Pastrana.
This is the plug.
So last week, the Nitro Circus Live Tour rolled into the country to spread some action sports craziness. And I was lucky enough to gain some media passes for the Birmingham show last Thursday night. And what a night it was. We almost didn't make it. The traffic gods were against us, meaning that we were slightly late. Which in hand meant that we had a lovely sprint from the car park to the entrance of the arena with bags full of camera equipment in tow. I'm sure we looked quite funny from afar. Anyway, from there on out, it was plain sailing. You go into the show not really knowing what to expect. Well, if you haven't seen the show before anyways. Obviously, you know what the Nitro Circus is and what they're about, and that you're going to see some downright insane tricks thrown before your eyes. But what you don't know is how they're going to turn that into a fully fledged 2-hour-long show. They start the show off by drawing your attention to the big screens and rolling a Nitro video to get your blood pumping, adrenaline flowing, and get you truly excited for what's to come. And from there on out, the Nitro craziness ensues. The show is structured in a way that keeps you interested and keeps you engaged. It keeps you on your feet and keeps you cheering at the top of your lungs, often in astonishment. There are some sections of the show, however, that tend to blow your mind more than others. I'm not talking about the double flips or the trains or even the bathtub gigantic jump. I'm talking about wheels. By far the best and the coolest part of the show, for me anyways, is Wheels' section. It has to be seen to be believed that this kid in a wheelchair can roll into the mega ramp and send it just as big or even bigger than anyone else. Seriously cool. Overall, the Nitro live show was pretty intense and pretty damn well awesome. It's a perfect night out for us adrenaline-fueled moto heads. And I thank Travis and the rest of the Nitro crew for providing us with such an experience. Some may say that if you've seen one freestyle show, you've seen them all. Not in this case. Even for me, I've seen everything that Nitro Circus has ever done. I watch the X Games almost religiously every single year. In a way, I think a lot of us, including myself, have almost become desensitized to this level of absurd action sports craziness. But despite that, I found myself cheering and jumping out of my chair more often than not, just being amazed at what these guys can do. And I know for a fact that people who haven't seen anything like this ever before will be completely and utterly mind blown. I had a friend with me on Thursday that is not action sports orientated by any stretch of the imagination. And he was left, well, pretty much speechless by the whole experience. I think it's pretty safe to say that Nitro Circus gained at least one new fan that night. So, if you have a chance to attend the show, do it. So, all you Americans out there, get ready for what is, in my opinion, the greatest show on earth to roll into your country next year, and get ready to be blown away. Despite all of that, my personal highlight of the night was being able to meet and interview one of my all-time heroes. I was able to have a very quick interview with Travis in between practice and the start of the show, as he was running around trying to keep everyone happy, as he does. So let's not beat around the bush. Roll VT!
With motocrosses, I think it's safe to say most of your fans are motocross riders. Are we ever going to see you back on a track racing competitively again?
No, I've got my ankle's fused, my back's fused, my shoulder pops out every time I do anything too vicious, and definitely my knee is shot. So for me, I love riding. I'll ride every day, my whole life. I never quit. But there's a difference between trying to beat the top guys.
Not the answer I was hoping for, but the answer I expected.
If Daddy wants to be an extreme sports and take off your mum and dad, what are you going to say?
Here's the golf club, but if you really want to do it, no, I'm just joking. I'll definitely, 100%. That's what I was just telling these guys. It's about passion. And if she's passionate about this stuff, I could have no greater hope than that she's an action sports athlete.
As always, Travis was a true gent and a complete dude, just as you'd expect him to be. I only wish that I had more time with him. I had pages and pages of questions, that I'd been dying to ask him for years. And I think if it was up to him, he would have happily sat down and answered them all. However, it wasn't up to Travis, as he had to be in a million places at once. I guess that's what happens when you're the guy that everyone wants a piece of. Anyway, I will always remember the time that I met Travis Pastrana, and I will be eternally grateful. Thanks again, Travis. There's been some absolutely shocking and surprising silly season news being revealed in this past week. It's been revealed that James Stewart has tested with factory Honda. Well, not actually. Well, technically he has tested with factory Honda, but that may or may not have been over 10 years ago. No, but seriously, these pictures have come into light over the past week, I think as part of Throwback Thursday. And if I'm not mistaken, I think these may be the only photographic evidence that a young James Stewart once tested with factory Honda. And no one ever knew about it. Pretty cool, really. Nowadays, in the age of the internet, it would be near on impossible to keep something as big as this a secret. Just think how different things could be if he did sign for them though. Honda would have been unstoppable. With RC and Baba, talk about a dream team. Finally, can we just take a moment to remember just how damn cool them graphics were? They need to make a comeback. Everyone wanted the Woody graphics. No, but seriously, I do have some actual silly season news for you. Firstly, breaking news this week. Well, not really breaking news. We all kind of knew about it ages ago. But Elliott Banks-Brown has now officially signed for Bill Base Honda for the 2014 season. I'm personally really looking forward to see how Elliott will get on aboard the new 450 and also how he'll fare in the big boy class next year. I will not be surprised to see him up front bustling for wins in the British Championship. The second and final piece of silly season news breaking recently is that Christophe Pourcel has signed with the Valiant Motorsports Yamaha team in the US to race the 2014 250 Outdoor Nationals. Now, it's great to see that Christophe will be back racing in 2014. Even better to see him back racing in the US. But, in my humble opinion, this is going to go in either one of two ways. Either it's going to be a repeat of the whole Motor Concepts Yamaha fiasco in 2011, you know, a bit of a flop, or Christophe will be the main protagonist in a pretty wide open 250 class next year. And his biggest rival and threat will be himself. Either way, I'm sure the enigma that is the crafty Frenchman will provide us with some talking points and some shocks come the Nationals in 2014. That's it for this week, guys. And again, I've got two questions for you today. Firstly, relating back to my interview with Travis, I've been lucky enough to meet two of my all-time heroes in 2013, Carmichael and Pastrana. So my first question is, who are your biggest moto heroes? And who would you most like to meet? And secondly, what are your predictions for Christophe Pourcel in 2014? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I've been Too Fast Max, and this has been The Plug. And if you've enjoyed this week's show, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel. And finally, if you like what you've seen and you want to see more, click right here to see more.